So the rise of Maratha part 1, the whole chapter has been covered. Today we are going to do the textual question answer from the textbook, right? And few questions from the Let's Explore also. So let us start. So first question is, analyze how geography, particularly mountains and coastline, guided Maratha military strategy and state formation, right? So here is the answer. The Maratha military strategy and state formation were heavily influenced by the geography of the western Deccan. The Sahyadri, that is the Western Ghat mountain, provided natural defense, allowing the Marathas to build hill forts, example Raigarh and Pratapgarh. The Konkan coastline enabled the development of a navy to protect maritime trade and defend against coastal threat. Control over Ghat routes between the coast and plateau allowed quick troop movement and economic control. So in this way, the geography, that is particularly the mountain and the coastline, guided the Maratha military for the strategy and state formation. This geography encouraged a decentralized, mobile state using terrain advantage to sustain resistance and expand power. Next question is, imagine you are creating a short biography of a Maratha leaders for younger student. Choose one personality, Kanoji Agre, Bajirao first or Mahaji Sinde, Ahilyabai Holkar or Tarabai and write 3-4 paragraphs highlighting what make them inspirational, include at least one challenge they overcome. So here we are going to take Ahilyabai Holkar, okay? So Ahilyabai Holkar was one of the most respected and visionary ruler in the Indian history. As the queen of the Malwa kingdom in the 18th century, she is remembered for her governance, compassion and devotion to welfare. Rising to power after the death of her husband and son, she faced the challenge of ruling at a time of political instability. Despite this, she led with wisdom, promoted agriculture, trade and justice, and built roads, wells, temples, and dhamshalas across India, including at Kasi, Somnath, and Rameshwaram. Ahilyabai overcame personal tragedy and societal barriers to become a symbol of strong, ethical, and benevolent leadership, inspiring generations to come. Now, the challenges she faced. Ahilyabai overcame the societal barrier of gender discrimination in a deeply patriarchal society. In 18th century India, women, especially widows, were rarely allowed to hold political power or take leadership role. However, with the support from her father-in-law, Malhar Rao Holkar, she defied social norms and proved her capability as a ruler, earning respect for her wisdom, fairness, and administrative skill, right? So this was the challenge she faced. Next, if you could visit one Maratha fort today, such as Raigarh, Sindhudurg, Gingi or Pratapgarh, which would you choose and why? Research its history, architecture and strategic importance. Present your finding as a digital presentation or a poster in a class. So here I am providing you information regarding the Sindhudurg fort. You can make it poster or in a digital presentation also, right? So if I could visit a fort, I would choose Sindhudurg fort because it represents Shivaji Maharaj's vision of naval power and coastal defense, something rare in Indian history at that time. Now let us see its history. It is located on the islet of the coast of Malwan in Maharashtra along the Konkan coast. It was constructed under Shivaji's order to counter rising naval threats from Portuguese and British. It served as the main naval base of Maratha Navy. The fort symbolized Maratha control over the western coast and showcased Shivaji's maritime vision. Now, if we are going to talk about this architecture, it was built using laterite stone and traditional lime mortar on a rocky island. It is surrounded by massive walls that is up to 30 feet high and 12 feet thick that blend with the sea. Its features include a concealed entrance for defense, water reservoir, storage room and residential areas inside. Now, what is the strategic importance of Sindhudurg? It controls key maritime trade route in the Arabian Sea. It acted as a naval defense point against foreign power, and it enabled monitoring of enemy movement along the coast. Right? Next. The chapter states the British took India from the Marathas more than from the Mughals or any other power. What do you think this means, and what evidence from the chapter support this idea? So this statement means that by the late 18th and early 19th century, the Maratha Empire, not the Mughal, was the most powerful Indian force resisting British expansion. When the British finally secured control over large parts of India, it was the Marathas they had to defeat, not the already declining Mughal Empire or other regional power. Now, what is the evidence and explanation from the chapter? The Mughal retained symbolic power, but real control of territories was taken over by emerging powers like the Marathas, Nizam, Bengal Nawabs, and others. The Maratha had become the real power across much of India at their peak. The Marathas were the only Indian power with a pan-Indian presence. The British East India Company fought three Anglo-Maratha wars against the Marathas. These wars were crucial for British territorial and political control over India. After defeating the Marathas, the British faced no major all-India opposition, and the Mughals had symbolic importance. It was the Maratha Empire that posed the real military and political challenge to British expansion. Next question is, compare how Shivaji and later Marathas treated religious places and people of different faiths. What evidence from the chapter shows their approach to religious diversity? So Shivaji Maharaj, religious tolerance was a key feature of his rule. He maintained good relation with Hindu and Muslim communities to ensure stable governance. Even after capturing Muslim town, he issued order to respect mosques and women, unlike the common wartime practices of the war. The sack of Surat was a tactical raid against Mughal wealth, not an attack on Islam or any religion. Shivaji's careful protection of religious places and civilians, even in an enemy city, served as strong evidence of his religious tolerance and ethical warfare. Right? So it was taken from the evidence is taken from the chapter that is sack of Surat. Now, the later Marathas leadership, especially under the Peshwas, remained broadly tolerant, and the later Maratha did not target other religions. They still protected important sites and allowed religious diversity. Right? So, this was about the Shivaji and the later Marathas. Next, the chapter describes how forts were the core of the state for Marathas. Why were they so important? How did they help the Marathas survive against larger enemies? So forts were the backbone of the Maratha state and played a central role in its military, political and administrative strength. Forts like Rajgarh, Pratapgarh, Srinagar were difficult to access and easy to defend. Forts served as the basis for launching quick raids against large enemy forces. Fort also housed treasuries, food storage and documents. They often acted as mini capitals. Example, Raigarh was Shivaji capital and the seat of his coronation, right? Local officials and military commanders, the commanders are operated from forts to control surrounding regions. Forts represented Maratha self-rule and identity. Fort also allowed the Marathas to resist sieges for months, gave them time to regroup, negotiate or plan counterattack, right? Now, next question is, if you have been appointed as the chief designer of Maratha coins, design a coin that represents Maratha achievement and values. Explain the symbol you choose. So, front side and back side. So, front side tiger motif will be there. That is, the tiger symbolizes courage and strength. It's often associated with Maratha bravery in warfare and is used in many representations of Shivaji and Maratha power. Backside will be a central portrait, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj on horseback holding a sword with a fort in the background. This iconic pose symbolizes his warrior spirit, leadership and the mobile nature of Maratha warfare. The background fort reinforces his identity as the king of fort, right? So this will be the design of the coin. Now, after this introduction to the Maratha period, what do you think was their most important contribution to Indian history? Write a paragraph supporting your opinion with example from the chapter, then discuss your ideas with classmates. So the Marathas' most important contribution to Indian history was their role in ending Mughal dominance and preserving indigenous rule in India during a period of foreign control. Under leaders like Shivaji Maharaj, they established a strong centralized administration and a formidable military system based on mobility and guerrilla warfare. The Maratha Empire later expanded across most of India, becoming a major political and military power in the 18th century. Their victory in the battles like the Third Battle of Panipat, though ultimately a loss, showcased their strength and resistance against foreign invasions such as the Afghans. The Marathas Confederacy also delayed British expansion for decades, playing a key role in shaping the political landscape before colonial rule finally took over. Okay, so this is the paragraph that support that how Maratha has been there and they just delay the British expansion in India. Now let's explore question answer. So it is from page number 63. Have you ever heard the term bhakti? What does it mean to you? Choose a bhakti saint from any part of India and learn about their life, their teaching and the message they share. So the term bhakti means devotion, love or faithful attachment, especially in spiritual or religious context. To me, each person may relate to God or the divine in their own way, shaped by their heart, culture and spiritual background. Now, Sant Kabir, a poet sant from North India born into a weaver's family, and his teaching were God is one and formless, beyond religious division. He believed in true devotion, that is, bhakti is eternal, not through ritual. And his famous message, Prem Gali Ati Sankari Tame Do Na Samay. The lane of love is very narrow, only one can enter, either you or God. Okay? Next. Try to find out more about guerrilla warfare, which other countries in the world adopted this method, what geographical advantage did they utilize. So guerrilla warfare is a form of irregular warfare where small, mobile groups use hit and run tactics, abuses and surprise attacks to fight a larger traditional military force. Cuba, that is Cuba Revolution, here the geography used was Sierra Maestra mountain as a base for launching attack. Why it works? It uses local knowledge, it is effective in difficult terrain and it is hard for conventional armies to counter, right? Next, pick an event from Shivaji life and with your classmate stage it as a play. So we are going to play Shivaji Maharaj and Afzal Khan. So how they both meet and there was a this one Shivaji Maharaj just they both Afzal Khan want to kill Shivaji Maharaj, but Shivaji Maharaj with a Wagner just attack Afzal Khan. Okay, so the title of the play is Shivaji Correct, and there are two characters only, Shivaji Maharaj and Afzal Khan. So if you will go through the scene or the setting, then a place with two chairs will be there. So you can do this one at your classroom also. Afzal Khan will stand and Shivaji enters calmly. So one of your friend can stand and he can become the Afzal Khan and you became Shivaji and enter in the class calmly, right? So Afzal Khan smiling falsely. Ah Shivaji, come, embrace me like a brother, let us forget war. Shivaji Maharaj cautiously. Peace is always better than bloodshed, Khan Sahib. They move to hug. Suddenly Afzal Khan grabs Shivaji's neck and draw a hidden dagger. Okay? Afzal Khan whispered angrily, your game ends today. Shivaji quickly pulled out his hidden wagnak, that is tiger claw, and slashes Afzal Khan in the stomach. Shivaji Maharaj firmly, you came with betrayal, I came with preparation and justice. Drums of Maratha soldiers sound in the background. Shivaji Maharaj raising hand. For Swarajya and truth, I will always fight. Okay, this is a small play that you can do at your classroom also. Now, have you heard of the dance form Bharatnatyam? Did you know that this dance form has a deep connection with the Marathas, and can you find out what connection was? So the Maratha rulers of Tanjavur was great patron of Bharatnatyam. They supported temple dance tradition, preserved Sanskrit and Tamil dance text and encouraged court performance. Under kings like Sarfoji II, Bharatnatyam flourished with rich composition, costumes and techniques that are still part of style today. So, the Maratha king helped protect and evolve Bharatanatyam during a time when it might have declined, right? Now, there is one question that is very interesting. Think about it. Here you have been given a time travel, and if you meet Shivaji Maharaj, what 3 questions you would ask him? So, I found it interesting, so that's why I personally just write 3 questions, right? See. So, if you could time travel and meet Shivaji, what 3 questions would you ask him and why? First question is, what motivated you to establish the Maratha Empire despite facing powerful kingdom like the Mughals? And why did I ask? To understand his vision, driving force behind his leadership, and strategy in a tough political landscape. Next question is, how did you manage to unite diverse communities and maintain loyalty among your people? I just want to understand how he built unity in diverse society. And the final one is, what was your biggest challenge as a leader, to know how he overcame difficulty? So this is the textual questions, and let's explore question answer. I hope this was going to help you. So thank you for watching until the end.